Instead, Posh Alex is doing is she's going around endorsing candidates who are very marginal. The candidate she endorsed in Hawaii really didn't stand a chance at all. And what that shows you is that she's not so much interested in trying to build her own political capital, but she's more interested in building a national movement. And that makes her dangerous because she doesn't really care the fact that there's headlines saying, oh, she's done, her endorsement means nothing. What she cares about is building a long-term political movement. And we have to remember that Fidel Castro just started with a couple of guys in the jungle. In the same way, President Trump is dangerous because he's not afraid to speak his mind. He's not afraid to burn political capital with the establishment of either party to fight for what he believes in. And because she's been willing to do this, it sends a message that I'm getting from her is that she's more serious than many people are, like Hillary Clinton, who she'll happily endorse somebody if she thinks they have a really good chance of winning. Cortez, she's not constrained by that. She's not afraid to stick her neck out and get behind some of these more radical candidates that she and people like Bernie Sanders believe are the future of the country, the future of their party. So I think her decisions here actually makes her more dangerous than if she was somebody beholden of only endorsing candidates who only stood, a reasonable chance of winning or were foregone conclusions that they were going to win their race.
Well, I think you characterized that accurately. That is unconventional. A lot of people are saying, well, look, she has no clout. Nobody listens to her because she lost 4 for 4. But I like the unconventional. I find that very interesting. And I think actually we saw an example of the conventional part of that with former President Obama, who he chose to endorse for the upcoming midterms. He did not choose to endorse Ocasio-Cortez, I think because she's on the fringes, because she's not mainstream, because she's a democratic socialist and not a progressive liberal like he is. I think that's very interesting. How do you think that plays?
Look, he's afraid.
Go ahead.
He's afraid to embarrass himself. When you're not afraid to embarrass yourself, when you're not, I think Ronald Reagan said, there's no limit on what you can get done if you don't care who gets credit. Or as Morton Blackwell said, never fully trust somebody until you see them fighting hard for a cause they know is going to lose. Now, one of those congressional candidates she was fighting for in Hawaii, single digits, right? Some of the other candidates she's endorsed stood very little chance. One of her candidates she endorsed in the primary did win, but it's in a completely safe Republican seat in Kansas. That candidate, they're going to lose the general. So it is an interesting play, but there is another acid test here. And endorsements kind of help. It helps generate energy. But the real test as to whether or not she's truly believes in these candidates is whether or not she's sharing what is really her greatest asset with them, which is her donor list.